So a huge debate was just sparked due to an Instagram post slash Reddit post. So all my MMA fans, I want to get your thoughts on this. What do you think? So ESPN MMA just posted a picture of a silver UFC belt, and someone on Reddit posted this saying the interim belt should be silver. This is very, very interesting. I kind of like this idea, but let's go look at the comments first before I give my full thoughts on this topic. Robbie Jordan says all the belts should spin like John Cena's. No, that'd be terrible. That would be terrible. The interim belt shouldn't even be a thing. I know a lot of people don't like the idea of an interim belt. So I got my thoughts on that. I'll give my thoughts on that later. Exactly. Only the official champ should have the privilege of wearing gold. I agree. Amanda Nunes comments yes. We've all been saying this. A lot of these interim champs get lost in the illusion of being a champ. Dustin. I called out Dustin Poirier and never actually win the real thing. That's funny. My boy threw Dustin Poirier out in the fire for no reason. Jeez. Dustin Poirier just catching loose bullets. MMA fans could start an argument in an empty room. This is facts. Me and my brothers always start the most randomest debates when it comes to any combat sports or anything. We always start the most randomest debates. All right, so we looked at some of what people had to say. And first, I'm going to tackle the topic of should there actually be an interim belt, or should they get rid of it because there really should only be one champion? You guys can also have your debates in the comments. If you disagree with what I'm saying, feel free to comment below. I don't take anything personal. We all have our own opinions. So the main thing is I don't see any negatives to an interim belt. I really don't see any. Number one, the fighters get paid more money. You go into a championship fight, you're making more money than you will ever make as a contender. As a title holder, whether it's an interim title or the actual title, you're going to be making more money than you ever would as a contender. So if we're talking about all these UFC fighters don't get paid enough, the UFC doesn't do enough for these fighters, getting rid of the interim belt makes these guys lose out on really good money that they could make when a champion is doing something, maybe injured, he's going to be out for a while, or moving on to another weight class, which has come very, very popular recently, to become a double champ. And piggybacking off of that, right? Imagine you've been a fighter, you fought your ass off to get to where you are, you become a number one contender, you're up next. You're going to fight for the belt next. You're going to make the most money you've ever made. You're ready for the title. Your dreams are going to come true. Just for the champion to move up a weight class, and you're going to have to sit out a year and a half before you get your chance. And wait a year and a half without making any money. You want to make money. You got to feed your family, provide for your family. You need to fight. So just imagine the UFC comes to you, tells you you're up next for this life-changing opportunity, and just like that, they rip it away for you saying, sorry, you're either going to have to fight another contender again, making much less money, or you're just going to have to sit out for a whole year to a year and a half and wait until the champion is ready for you. Imagine that. So the interim title serves a great purpose, and if these guys are promised a title shot next, if the champion decides to move up a weight class for a huge mega fight, cool, then you can get an interim title, and that way you get paid like a champion, or you get paid like it's a title fight, and you get to get something. You get to get rewarded for all your hard work, all your effort, the grind to the top, fighting amazing fights, fighting amazing fighters, working your ass off. You get something, you get a reward finally after all your hard work. That's why I really like the interim belts. And the last thing that I have that is a pro for the interim belts is that they get that championship fight experience. You going into a lot of these guys going into championship fights have only fought 3-round fights. Most of them haven't fought even a 5-round fight. Yeah, you can fight 5-round fights if you're fighting on a headliner of a UFC fight night. But if you're not, and you've worked your way up, and maybe you fought in co-main events, you've only fought in 3-round fights. Now you got to fight the best guy in the world in a 5-round fight, which you've never done before. So that's a big, big problem. So getting the opportunity to fight for the interim belt gets you really, really well prepared for the challenge of fighting the actual champion. So these are some things that heavily benefit these fighters if they're going into an interim title fight. It's not all that negative. I can't really even think of any negatives. Yes, we only want one champion, but this is why I really like the idea of them making a different belt. Instead of giving them the same exact belt that the champion has, give them something different. And I'm not mad at a silver belt. And when you go to the Olympics, second place gets an award. Even third place gets an award. I don't think there should be a bronze belt, but you know what I mean. Second place still gets an award for their hard work and their efforts. And in my opinion, if the champion is out for some reason for a good amount of time and you've earned your shot, you should be rewarded. And an interim belt is a perfect thing, or a perfect way to reward these fighters, not only with a belt, but with some good money too. So I love this idea with the silver interim belt. I think it actually looks pretty dope. I'm interested to see what you guys think. Do you guys like the interim belt? Do you guys also agree? Do you think that they should make a silver interim belt or make an interim belt that looks different from the actual championship belt? Or do you think that the interim belt should just be gone? There should only be one champion, and that's the actual champion, and there should be no more interim belts given out at all. As always, thank you guys so much for the support. We really appreciate it. Feel free to like the video if you like the video. Feel free to subscribe to the channel if you're new. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much, and I'll catch you in the next one.